All right, welcome everyone back to the channel. Today we have another episode of Matchups from A to Z, featuring ARoy and yours truly. In this series, we play out a new matchup each month, learning what works and what doesn't. This series is inspired by one of the legendary Unmatched series here on YouTube by none other than ZeroSkater12 and his Matchup of the Month. You can find his channel linked in the description below. Huge shout out to him. All that being said, this month's matchup will be George Washington taking on the bloodlusted Chupacabra. George and his spies are fierce, but can they outlast a relentless cryptid's assault? It's time to find out. Also, if you enjoy this type of content and want to see more of the series, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment down below any matches you're hoping to see us cover in the future. Now let's get into it. Alright, welcome to the analysis section of the video. Here we've got Chupa versus George Washington on Hanging Gardens, and I'm here with ARoy.
What's good, baby?
And we're going to do things similar to we did last video, where we both talked about the macro and the micro strategy before the match as we get into things here. So, ARoy, if you want to take us away with the macro strategy here as George and Chupa in this match.
Absolutely. So let's start with George, who's a tricky fighter to play for sure. His win rate so far in the first couple months that he's been released has not been super good. He definitely has his matchups, and I think this is an interesting one because it highlights both George's strengths and weaknesses. His strengths, he's at his best when he is giving the opponent very difficult choices because his ruse effects are so strong. He has extremely strong effects, right? Agent 711, Stone-esque threat. Allies Everywhere is action game and healing. I mean, that is such a big deal for a 14 health fighter with 3 sidekicks. Sabotage, if that goes off, I mean, that's an Omega level threat. That's a crazy swing. So all of those are super critical effects. But the opponent, and if you're the opponent's random discarding and then having to block or take 3-4 damage, that's still very good for you in terms of value. So overall, you're pretty happy if that ends up being the case. You can think about it, basically you turn any card into an ambush or similar to an ambush. Where he struggles is he doesn't have a super high quantity of blocks, especially strong blocks. He has some really great blocks. He has the 5, he has the 4, and he has feints. But he only has so many of those, and sometimes you're going to need to play 1 or 2 of those on offense. He has very little card draw, and so he plays this interesting game where he wants to pressure the opponent, because if you're too passive, then they're going to be able to draw their defenses they need, and your ruse effects aren't scary. But if you overextend, then that limited block quantity is going to bite you, and your lack of draw can hurt you because other fighters like Chupa have more draw at their disposal. So it's a really careful balancing act. So what I'm trying to do in this matchup as George, especially because I'm going first, is apply pressure and threaten ruse effects as much as I can. So that means blocking with the 4s to get ruses back, especially if it's a first action attack from Chupa. I'm almost always going to get the ruse back, right? An offensive feint or wounded beast at low health, or the 0 are the only things that are really going to stop that. But a lot of the times those 4s are going to be able to win combat. Maybe even on offense, I can throw the 4. But more than anything, the thing that makes this game great for George is that Agent 711 is guaranteed to trigger if Chupa has more than 7 health on anything but a feint. So your Agent, always very scary. And because we're on Hanging Gardens, which if any of you haven't played on Hanging Gardens before, there is a concept of high ground. And so if I just put George here, everywhere next to him, all 3 spots next to him, he has high ground. So if Chupa is on any of those spots and I attack, I get +1 to my attack value, determined as damage is being dealt, as damage is being calculated. So basically my Agent 711 is a 5 instead of a 4. My Sabotage is a 4 instead of a 3, and so on. And so that makes it that much easier to win combat and get those powerful effects. And so Chupa has to be that much more scared and feint or random discard to try to avoid those effects. So as George, especially going first, I probably want to boost in turn 1, take advantage of that high ground, and threaten a strong ruse effect like a Sabotage while he's on low ground. And over the course of the game, I want to keep forcing him to approach me when I have high ground, because that's what makes my ruse effect scary.
On the converse, I don't want to approach him when he's on high ground, and I have the 3 spies. I probably want to maintain. I have 2 ultimate high ground spots, 1, 2. I probably want to make sure I have control of those. If I can either keep George in those spots or put the spies in those spots to hold them, because I really don't want to have to approach Chupa on high ground. I always want to have the option of at least approaching him on neutral ground, or if Chupa has initiative, I make him approach, which is great. So I want to play that pressure game. And then the last thing I want to mention is, in terms of that pressure game, is Sympathetic Stain. Obviously, a key card in George's deck. I really want to play that early in the game, particularly when I have a strong ruse effect or 2 in hand, so that I can kind of wipe out his defenses and force him to random discard because he's so scared of my threats, because he doesn't have answers to my ruse effects. So that's my game plan as George, is use my ruse effects as much as I can, force Chupa into mind games of random discarding or potentially taking huge damage, giving me healing, or random discarding even more cards. And then as the game progresses, the later the game goes, the more I want to just stay on high ground, force initiative on him, stay ahead in the deck count, stay ahead in the value game, and be patient, because I have 4 bodies on the board to his 1, and if he's approaching me on high ground, I'm going to end up winning that value trade over time. Anything you would add as a macro strategy for George?
No, that pretty much sums up the general macro strategy. The only other thing I will point out here is the gather information debate. As George, you have this debate. I think in any game you have this debate of, are you playing for value, are you playing for exhaustion, or are you playing to kill? And I think in this game, I mean, obviously, I think George wants to start playing value, but there is a world where he just switches to playing aggro, and with this gather information, being able to draw 3 cards and move 3 spaces, you can put a lot of pressure, and it might even allow you to do some cool things on this high ground map, since you are able to move
Yeah.
through opposing fighters. Say if George is down here, or maybe something more realistic like he's here, goes through, draws a bunch of cards, flips the draw tempo on Chupa, and now all of a sudden is attacking with the +1, throwing something like a 5, maybe with a big 6 value attack, or even throwing like a circumvent for 4 ignore, or like you mentioned, the sabotage with a 4 value to try to win combat. So I think that is something worth noting and worth figuring out as George, is this card something you want to play, or is it something that you really just want to use as a boost value, or maybe discard fodder for in case of ambush or something, or
Yep,
unsettle.
absolutely agree. I mean, that I think whether you're playing that or not early in the game is dictating what your plan is for the rest of the game. And I do think if you can play it in a spot where you don't necessarily have initiative fully forced on you as George, then that's great, right? I have more options, I have more flexibility, I can be more aggressive. But if it goes too far and now I'm down 4 cards in deck because I played an aggressive gather information and I've been double maneuvering up to that point, he might just sit on high ground and he's winning the value game. So it's a very interesting balance there, but I totally agree.
Yep.
So let me jump into Chupa a bit. Chupa is a fighter that we've had around for longer, and I think he plays a bit more of a well-known style, where he loves opponents approaching him, because double attacking and just drawing off of those attacks is so scary for the opponent. And so that's what makes this matchup fun, is that you're constantly trying to pressure the opponent, get them to come to you, and then punish them for that with your effects. Chupa is really punishing through his ability, because he can just get hand advantage anytime he wants, while George, his pressure comes from the threat of his effects. So as Chupa, number one thing is I want to get through the spies early. If I can kill all the spies before the sympathetic stains are played and make it awkward for him to try to bring the spies back and not have them die and be able to play the scheme, that's a big win. But even regardless of that, the faster I take out the spies, the more I'm making George come to attack me or overdraw. Because if the multiple spies are alive, George has a lot of board presence. It's easier for him to reach me without boosting and without forcing George onto low ground. Whereas if the spies are dead and I'm sitting on high ground, George is either double maneuvering or he's coming to me. And he's going to end on low ground and I can attack him, double attack, double draw. I mean, that's just so much pressure. It's very hard for any fighter to deal with. So as Chupa, that's my number one goal, is kill spies. Definitely Tooth and Tail is a key card to do that. And if George ever mispositions and lets me put 2 spies next to me, then killing them with Tooth and Tail is super threatening. So that's a key card to kill spies. And then once I get in on George as Chupa, I'm pretty happy to be at 7 or less health because feeding is one of my best cards that enables this mind game between feeding, which you want to cancel, and the more they struggle, which you are okay canceling, but you do not want to value block. If George is trying to play a 4 to save himself against feeding, and he ends up taking 4 damage and not getting the ruse token, that's a huge punish. So the more I can put them into those mind games between feeding and the more they struggle, and then do hitting with one of those, especially on high ground where I'm very likely to win combat, sets up a blood in the air for big damage. George only has 14 health. And so that's just a very scary combination. So I want to play that aggressive game once George starts coming to me. But if I draw too much early in the game with my ability, then George can just sit on high ground. The last thing I'll mention in terms of a macro strategy is a great way for Chupa to force initiative on the opponent is Unsettle. That can help you get closer to that 7 health threshold, which enables feeding and which lets Wounded Beast be a 5, which is really important against George because, George wants to win combat or threaten winning combat with his effects. So having Wounded Beast be a 5 block, having feeding be an action gain are both very strong. George having no movement effects aside from the swap, but basically no movement effects. And so Unsettle gets you lower in health, as well as it's a pass that can help push initiative onto George. And so if you are thinking about double maneuvering on a turn, and instead you just maneuver into his zone, not adjacent, and then you unsettle, now George is either double maneuvering and going way further into his deck than you, or he's coming to you at a hand disadvantage, and Chupa always likes that because, like I said, with his ability, Chupa can get hand advantage at the drop of a hat. So I think both of them are trying to play this initiative game, but I think as Chupa, you're happy to get down to 7 health, and once you're there, everything is enabled, and you want to attack George as much as possible. So kill the spies early, be fine going down to 7 health, that 5 to 7 health range, and then be aggressive when George comes to you. Be comfortable double attacking using your draw power without ever going so far down in deck that you lose that initiative battle.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Nothing too much more to add there on the macro side of things. Moving over to the micro side of things. First interaction I want to talk about is a very cool one. I think in this match, something that we don't often get to see is characters who are okay with taking maybe an Agent 711, particularly early for Chupa here. Assuming there's no high ground, assuming it's on a normal interaction here. Agent 711, 4 value attack, and if you won combat, deal 7 damage to the opposing fighter, is effectively 8 damage into Ravenous Lunge, although it really drops back down to 7 because Chupa recovers 1 health off of it. But George wins the combat, deals 1 damage, heals it back up for Chupa, and then takes 7 more, and that puts Chupa right at 7 health, which is, as you mentioned, the prime spot for Chupa to be at. Maybe 6 or 5 health is also arguably a little better, but maybe you don't want to go there super early in the game. So I think this is an interesting interaction. If George has a 711, might debate, do I really want to play it early? Is it good to get that damage in? I mean, odds are probably, but as soon as Chupa's at 7 health, all the feedings are active, all of your wounded beasts are active. And so now all of a sudden the tempo of the game can start to shift. Chupa can really just start going a bit aggro because now George, his blocks, while good, like you mentioned, are low in number and is going to start to run out of them very quickly if Chupa is all of a sudden attacking with feedings for action gain, maybe getting to throw a blood in the air threat where you have to feint to prevent Chupa from boosting and making it like an 8 value attack, a 7 value attack. And the zeros are, of course, always a threat there when you have all of these other threats, these 4s online. So that's the first thing I want to mention. Next thing I want to mention, from George's side of things, from the attacks, the allies everywhere. This is something happens in a lot of his matches. The gain free action to attack is nice, sure, but this card is really valuable for the recovered 3 health. I think in this game, George can definitely end up in situations where he is at a health disadvantage and needs to find a way to heal. I say health disadvantage, Chupa might be lower on health, but with so much healing, George really needs to make sure that he's keeping his health high so that he doesn't die. And also, even in an exhaustion battle here, if you have lower health, that is effectively taking damage. For every, every card you would draw in exhaustion is taking 2 damage that you would have otherwise. So, it matters for George a lot. And so getting this healing off is important. I think Chupa would even consider random discarding here to know to stop this, but really probably wants to just feint it. I mean, feint is a full block into it, and I think In general, Chupa's fine with, wants to feint a lot of what George has, but since he consistently block for 3, you're not so scared of, say, Sabotage, and unless Chupa gets super low on health, the Circumvent isn't always the worst thing in the world, especially into a card like Ravenous, where he still effectively is blocking for 2, or actually, really effectively blocking for 1, I should say, because he heals 1 off of it. So I think those are interesting, or also Circumvent into Natural Toughness is also a little bit interesting, just because this you'd manage to keep Natural Toughness as Chupa. Moving ahead as well to the Mind Game, you sort of touched on here, the more they struggle, and the Blood in the Air or Feeding. These 2 cards, the 4 value attacks, are very scary for George. They are very scary for George if he doesn't have, say, a Misinformation or Make a Stand in hand. I think Make a Stand is probably the safest block that he has, but with the more they struggle being there, Misinformation can just be 4 damage over the top, which is very scary for him. And with High Ground, it's also a problem. One thing that could come up here, if Chupa was going first and he's not, but in any situation where he can get High Ground, say, on a Spy, or something like this, the Spy, all of a sudden, if Chupa attacks with a 0, can't take because the Spy will just die. It'll be a +1. It'll be a 1 value attack. And the Spy can't defend with actually anything except for a feint to stay alive, which is pretty scary, I think, for George, who really doesn't want to lose his Spies. They are critical to his game plan for the Sympathetic Stain, but also just keeping them around so you can have body blocking and so you can use them to potentially go after Chupa while keeping George safe. So that is very important. Another debate there as well, for George and maybe for the Spies, is when to play Make a Stand. Because Chupa is going to be attacking, pretty regularly with cards that are going to be higher value, enough to kill over, say, a feint, maybe if it's a Spy defending. But he also can attack with Tooth and Tail, which, as you mentioned, if George mispositions and put 2 Spies next to Chupa, then, well, okay, Chupa is definitely going to attack with this and try to kill them. But if he attacks just 1 Spy with it, it could be interesting, even if it's not on high ground here, because if you block with Make a Stand, it won't actually keep your Spy alive. Chupa will just kill it and heal. But if you try to block with, say, you need to block with a feint, because otherwise the Spy is going to die. If you could block with feint, and he attacked with, say, a Feeding, or a random Blood in the Air, or a Ravenous Lunge, or anything else, really, even a Wounded Beast, and it will kill the Spy, and you'll just have wasted a feint for nothing. So something to consider there as well, especially also if Chupa's at 7 health, then even Misinformation wouldn't save a Spy from a Wounded Beast. And I think that's something as well that Chupa's going to be debating as to when to play these. Can you play them early as blank 3s, or do you really want to wait until the end game to play them as 5s? And the last thing I do want to add here, from Chupa's side of things here, at least, is the mind game as well of what to feint because of Ambush. Ambush is, of course, a classic card, a common card, and a very strong card, forcing your opponent to discard and randomly discard, and you're adding the value to your attack, so this can be pretty high. George's boost values aren't the highest in the world, but he's got some 3s in there. I think Sabotage is a 3, the Allies Everywhere is a 3, Agent 711 is a 3.
And Sympathetic Stain. So some of his stronger cards are 3s.
So depending on what Ambush is able to hit, if it's able to hit, say, a feint, a Sympathetic Stain, a 711 even, those are really, really good cards to be pulled out. And George's going to want to keep a high hand size to avoid that, but also is going to really want to feint this. I mean, primarily you can avoid the whole mind game if you're just feinting. George wants to force random discards on his opponent, not on himself. And so I think figuring out what to block with against Ambush is going to be key. When Chupa's going to be able to throw it is key. And of course, if he can throw it with a +1, that's even better. I mean, now it's a 3 that's getting boosted, and that could be potentially a 6 value attack. And of course, Chupa wants to set up all of his interactions with Travelers, which I think is probably the most important scheme card of any of these. Even though Sympathetic Stain I think is very important and very strong in this matchup, I think Travelers is even more important just for Chupa's game plan here, because on this map particularly, Travelers lets you move through opposing fighters, which, like I mentioned with the gather information for George, can set up cool things. If someone's sitting on a high ground spot like this and you're lower ground, so you're going to take 1 damage, well, actually you're going to travel through and you're going to get the +1 onto George. But also for Chupa, it's very important. Let's say Chupa's all the way, a little bit farther away from George and has to maneuver in. Well, instead of doing that, you can just play a Travelers, you can attack, and then if you win the combat, great, you can attack again potentially to set up your Blood in the Air threat, or to set up maybe a bait attack with a 0, or something else, or you can just maneuver away and keep that, the high ground here and force George to have the initiative to come approach you, and then you're going to get the +1s on the way back. So a very important card there, I think, for Chupa, and something that can really dictate the game.
Agreed.
But unless you have anything else here to add, I think I just want to get into these games. What do you say, ARoy?
I agree. Sounds good to me. I think it's going to be a fun one. I think it's going to be some aggression, some counter aggression. But as it often is with Hanging Gardens, some waiting a bit, hoping your opponent to come to you, and then punish them for coming in.
100%. Sounds good. And let's see if I can add to Team ZX49's score before the end of the year here.
Yeah, we got some time, but you'd need to win both of these to tie it up. So we'll see what we can do.
Let's see what we can do. All right, let's get into it.
Interesting. I will keep this.
I am going to. I'll keep it. You know what? We'll keep this.
All right. Spy number 1. Spy number 2. Let's do that. All right. You all set?
I'm all set.
All right. You enjoy yourself.
Likewise.
You
Good luck. Have
big
fun.
evil monster. I will maneuver.
El Chupacabra you're talking to.
And I will boost with gather information.
Not gonna play it, just gonna boost with it. Okay, telling us a
Now,
little bit of
I'll be
information.
honest, I drew it on the top deck. I would have had a tougher decision to make if I hadn't. Yeah, am I worried about you traveling in and playing tooth and tail? I think I'm all right. I will go there for a little map coverage. Okay, about this.
Okay.
And I will attack you with the ruse.
Alright, so it's a circumvent or it's a sabotage, and either one is a 4. Lovely.
Yep. Or it's a nice bait attack.
It could be a great bait attack here. I would not put it past you. Let's see here. I mean, the random discards are gonna suck either way. Sure, let's random discard to get rid of that ruse token.
I like that.
Go ahead.
Let's get rid of a traveler. Okay.
Okay. Not
and
the
then
worst thing.
So I'll get rid of the ruse.
And we will play this.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. So you take 1, you get your card back, and you don't have to deal with the 2 discards at least. And it is your turn.
Yeah, I think that's the best outcome that I could have had there. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll maneuver. I'll maneuver again. Your turn.
Maneuver. Maneuver again. Wait a minute. Did I draw a card from your deck? I got one of these bad boys.
Oh, you must have, because I should be at 23. I only double maneuvered.
That's funny.
Cheeky. Trying to steal one of my cards.
I did steal one of your cards. I got away with it.
You would have gotten away with it. I didn't even notice.
Yeah. I'm just such an honest fellow. All right, your turn.
Attacks me with a Chupacabra card.
I mean,
wrong volume of Legends Volume 3 character there.
Yeah, I mean, right. It would have been feeling like Loki. Sure.
All right. We will maneuver. And Chupa will attack.
Mm. It's probably just a tooth and tail. I'll take it.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. And we will not draw. Your turn.
Will my discards be down here or up here?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Let me move my
No,
discard.
I don't care. Okay. Yeah. I mean, either way is fine with me. All right. I'll maneuver. Mm-hmm. I will boost with a 5. I don't think I need the damage.
Wow. Bold. I don't know if I've ever seen that in a George game. I'm sure it's happened before, but I've never seen that. That's interesting.
I'm an innovator. What can I say?
Not to make you second guess it or anything. I think it's cool. I just think it's
I will play the stain.
okay. Luckily, I don't have anything too crazy. Let me go ahead and make a
I'll make a copy of this.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. So some interesting options. I mean, I think it's either the 0 or the unsettle. Yeah, nothing ideal. I'll get rid of unsettle.
Yeah, I think that's unfortunately the right play.
Yeah.
I've been happy with you discarding anything else, so.
We're kind of trading one pass for another, so I don't know how much I
Yeah.
like that.
We'll maneuver.
Mm-hmm. They come to town. Yeah, he declines to come to town.
Maneuver again.
Mm-hmm.
Your turn.
I'll maneuver. I'll maneuver again. But there.
And I will unsettle.
That is outrageous. I will discard. Return to the ring.
Okay, I'll take the 2 for you to discard another one.
Yeah, understandable. Yeah, quite a bit painful. I'm gonna get rid of the other one.
Okay. At least we're not seeing any more spies.
No, just these 2. I will maneuver.
Okay. I'll maneuver. And I'll attack the spy.
Yeah. A lunge, I think. Block with make a stand.
There we go.
Wow. All right.
Little mind game for
Fair
you.
enough.
I definitely
Fair
think
enough.
lunge was a better play overall, but you know, it's not what's best, it's what works, so.
That's true. I'll maneuver and attack with a ruse.
With the ruse. So another sabotage. Or just a bait. What are you even baiting with? Make a stand would be kind of weird. I don't think that's it. Misinformation is a 5 value attack. That could be kind of cool. Circumvent, of course, just to ignore. I think I want no part of that, so I'm going to random discard again.
Yep.
Go ahead and pull.
All right.
Not so bad. And then I will defend with this.
Yep.
So I'll take 1 and I'll keep my natural.
Your turn.
Alright. we will attack the spy.
I'll take.
We'll kill 2.
Yep.
And I will... I'll maneuver.
You certainly nailed the macro strategy of killing the spies.
There we go.
I will maneuver. Am I happy with discarding 1 and then you discard 1? I will maneuver again, and I will discard the other gather information.
Okay. I'll maneuver.
Yeah.
And I'll maneuver again.
Makes sense to me.
I will discard. I'll get rid of natural toughness.
What?
Your turn.
I'll maneuver. No ruse.
No ruse. No ruse at all. What the heck is this?
Alright, it's either a ruse or not. There's no half ruse.
Yeah, that's true. You didn't put a half ruse out. Okay, that's fair. I mean, my gut tells me this is a 5. But I guess it could be like a offensive misinformation. But I think a 5 makes too much sense here. You just want to back up. I think I'm okay fainting that 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is reasonable for both of us. No more 5s for me.
And I will attack.
Yeah. I'll block with a mega stand.
Alright.
Yep. So yours becomes a 6 plus 1 is a 7. So I do take 2.
And let's see. I will draw with ability.
Fair enough.
And then I will attack again.
I will feint that one. Yeah.
Take 3.
Good blank 4.
And I will not draw. Your turn.
Okay. I will attack you with a ruse.
Okay. I'll just feint this.
Good feint.
There we go. Love to see it. Love to see it.
Was hoping you wouldn't have 2. So this is where Hanging Gardens really bites me. Because if I stay here and fight, you double attack me and keep drawing. And if I back up, I'm just going to be goaded back in soon enough.
Now you understand Chupa's master plan.
But I will maneuver. And it's your turn.
Alright. I'll maneuver. And I'll maneuver again.
Yep.
Your turn.
I will maneuver twice on my own high ground.
You're making a stand there, some would say.
Temporarily, I suspect.
I'll maneuver. And I will maneuver again.
Yep.
And I will discard. Let's see. Discard the Ravenous Lunge.
Sure.
Your turn.
Maneuver. Oh man, this is a tricky spot here. I think I'm gonna stay back one more. I'll get rid of a spy card.
Yeah.
I will get rid of a network of spies.
Okay.
All my sidekicks are dead, so they give me no use for plenty of my cards. It's amazing for the value game.
Yeah, gotta love it. I will maneuver.
Yep.
And riveting gameplay here. I will maneuver again.
This is what you said we were supposed to avoid in matchup of the month.
And I gotta play to win, man. There's stakes. I don't know what they are yet, but they're stakes.
For sure, they exist, whatever they may be.
All right, let's see. What do I discard here? This
Great.
and a wounded beast.
Great. I like that.
Your turn.
Let's draw those 2 spy swaps. How about that? Let's maneuver. Not quite that, but a little like that. So the problem is, at some point soon, you're just going to traveler in and then back off. And how bad is that for me?
Doesn't feel like anything is good.
Maneuver again.
Wow.
I'll get rid of a 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is terrified of Chupacabra.
I'm pretty scared. I will be fully transparent.
All right. Now, is Chupa really scared of George? Maybe for the moment. I'll maneuver.
Okay.
And I will maneuver again.
Okay.
Discard Tooth and Tail.
Yes.
And another Blood in the Air. It's fine.
Certainly.
Your turn.
I'll maneuver. And I will finally come to town.
He wants to fight.
I do. I'll attack.
Okay. No ruse.
Oh, sorry, with a ruse.
With
I
ruse?
apologize.
Okay, with a
With a
ruse.
ruse.
That's right.
With a ruse.
Yeah.
Yes. That is my bad.
All right.
I wouldn't be leaving my high ground without a ruse. I'll tell you that.
We'll random discard. Go ahead.
Great.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
okay.
He pulled the natural toughness.
So ruse goes away.
Yep. But we will block with this.
Okay. You do heal the 2, and I don't heal at all, but I do get the free action to attack.
There you go.
Which I will use. I'll attack with a ruse.
Alright. You can random discard again if you'd like to.
I would like to.
And last Blood in the Air is gone. Alright. And we will take your 4.
It is my 4.
Yep.
Enjoy your feeding.
There we go. We will attack.
Two feedings left. I will faint.
Okay.
Yep.
No damage.
Yep.
I will draw.
Yep.
And I will attack again.
I'm gonna faint again.
Yep.
Yep.
Take 3. And you have 4 in hand. I will draw.
Mm-hmm.
Your turn.
Mm-hmm. Interesting situation. I will attack you.
I'll defend this.
Okay. I think that's an okay trade for me. No ruse, but 2 damage. Then I'll maneuver. And you can go.
All right. Let's see.
Ooh, this is close. This is
a
very close.
tight game now. I'll say that.
Yes.
Let's see.
Yes.
These are gone. These are gone. These are gone. These are gone.
Yep.
These are
Things are
gone.
gone, and this now. And
Yeah. So you've got. Let's see. You've got 2 4s and a 5
yep.
as your only blocks.
Yep. And you have 2 blocks left.
Yeah.
7 cards left. 2 of them schemes.
Okay. We will start with a travel.
Make sense?
And Chupa will attack.
Block.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Okay, so I get the ruse.
Yep. I will draw.
Yeah.
And let's see. Yeah, Chupa will attack again.
So feeding or ambush? I think feeding probably. Tooth and tail. I'll take.
So that's 5 damage.
It is.
And I will draw again. Your turn.
Let's think. Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, double ambushes is pretty brutal.
Not the best feeling. I'll attack with a ruse.
Alright. So you're out of the healing. This could be a 5. Or sorry, this could be a 6. Make a stand, but wasting a ruse. Or it's the 7-1-1. Or it could be the last misinformation. Those are the only thing. Am I missing a card? You have 5 cards left. That's 3 cards. I'm missing 2 cards. Oh, the 2 1s. Oh, you're not attacking with a blue 1. So
I'm crazy.
one of those 3. Ancient 1 is a 5. I will block with a wounded beast, and that should.
You had it. Yeah. And that's game, unfortunately. I will maneuver. I'll go there.
Yep. And I will maneuver. And I will hit you with this. Yeah.
Yep.
GG's.
So yeah, I figured as long as you don't have Wounded Beast, even if you're blocking with this, you have to random discard first.
Yes. Yeah. And then I could random discard that block, and then I'd take
Correct.
4, which at least would put me at 1. And if I
You take
discarded
5, which
or 5, yeah, sorry, which would have killed me. Yeah, no,
you
you're
would
right.
want.
Yeah. No, very good.
No, well, right, yeah.
I was at 5, yeah.
Yeah, so that was tough. Oh man. Yeah, both blues at the bottom. There they are.
Yep. My last card was the other travelers.
Yeah, I mean the zeros came in at opportune times for you. But yeah, it was tricky. I think I was happy with how I used the ruses. The ambushes really hurt me. When you attacked with double ambushes, my hand was, the 4 that I blocked with.
Yep.
A circumvent, an agent 711, and an allies everywhere. So I knew it was going to be ugly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Double ambush into that is terrifying.
Oh, it was so scary. Oh my god.
Man, ambush is such a scary card. It's actually really easy for me to forget that like Chupa has it, because he's got so many other threats. Like the feeding is of course like the classic thing, and the blood in the air with the more they struggle, like the 0-4 battle, like that's a whole thing. But then it's just like, oh yeah, he actually has ambush too, which is just like the scariest thing to not faint.
It's very scary.
Really, really ridiculous. Yeah, I would have traveled in, by the way, if I'd had it. I never saw
I
those travelers
figured,
for a while. Um,
right.
and so, yeah, at some point, I think you had the initiative to approach, at some point in the game. And yeah, it's just a matter of time. I was actually discarding too many defenses. You did catch me there. I was getting a little bit, but I thought if
Right.
I healed with the Ravenous Lunge, like 2, then I thought, okay, well, at least if I take a 4, it'll put me down to 7, and that's okay. But yeah, it
Yeah.
was tough.
All right, let's flip it around and see if Chupa goes 2-0.
Yeah, let's see. Hopefully not, and hopefully we can tie the series
No,
here for
no,
Team
no. It would be
VX49.
cool if Chupa went 2-0.
Let's see, let's see.
All right.
Yeah, I'll keep this. I'll
I'm
keep
gonna
this.
mulligan. I like having you got such good value out of natural toughness. I was honestly really impressed.
Yeah,
But with feet, like these are a lot of cards that I'm probably not going to be able to use early, other than Tooth and Tail. Tooth and Tail is great to see,
yeah. Tooth and
but
Tail is the best one, but yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Could have been a wrong call. All right, have fun.
Yeah, good luck, have fun, man. All right. Pass the turn to me.
Um,
All right, thank you. All right. Like every good game, we're not gonna start with maneuver. We're gonna go with the scheme. Let's go.
I have a
Gather
lot of respect for
information.
that.
We're gonna draw 3. There's
Hmm.
some good cards.
Good
Go
cards.
like that. And yeah, we'll keep that guy there. There we go. And we will have the spy attack you with
Yeah,
this and with a ruse.
yeah. Not my favorite position to be in. Um, I will accept the random discard grudgingly.
All right,
You can discard one.
grab this.
Then I will defend with. I'll take it actually.
Okay,
Mhm.
4 damage.
Yep.
And your turn.
Indeed. I will attack the spy.
Okay. Let's do this.
Mhm.
Okay, fair enough. Spy dice.
Yep. Then I will not draw with ability. And I will maneuver. I'm good.
Okay. I will maneuver. I'll maneuver again. Your turn.
Maneuver. I will maneuver again, and I will let you go.
Alrighty. We'll maneuver. I will boost with allies everywhere.
You scheming?
Yes, sir. Sympathetic stain. I get back a ruse. Look at your hand. And I think we will get rid of the ambush.
Makes sense.
And do I need to make a copy of this? No, this is already
No, it is a copy.
cool. And it's your turn.
Okay. I'll tap.
I'll take it.
Mm-hmm. I'll draw one, and then I'll maneuver.
Okay. I'll maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll maneuver again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll discard a... Ooh, tough. We will discard a feint. Your turn.
I'll maneuver. and I'll unsettle, and I'll be a gentleman and just tell you I'm taking the 2 right now.
Yeah, that's fair. We will get rid of misinformation
I like that.
and we'll get rid of an agent.
Okay, cool with me.
I'll maneuver. And I'll maneuver again. Your turn.
Yeah. I'll travel in. And I'll attack. Okay.
Okay.
This spy dies, but another comes back next to George.
Technically, I could put it anywhere because I won the
Well,
combat.
you do win combat. You're right. So one comes back first before this one dies.
Yeah.
And
I
then
can't put it
he'll
in
die.
that namespace. Yeah.
Right.
And you'll have one more.
You probably want to put it next to me.
Oh yeah, putting it next to you would be great. Give you some health recovery there. We'll put it there.
Okay. So I'll heal 1 and kill that spy. I will not draw. I don't think. And then I will maneuver.
I'll maneuver. I'll boost with this. I don't know that it makes a difference. I'll go here. And then I'll play the other.
Okay. You can delete those 4.
Yeah.
The defense?
Let's see. Yeah, I think I will just take your defense. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Your turn.
So, do we want a pure mind game? 3 4s and a 0. I mean, 75% chance it's a 4, right? Do we hit ya? Perhaps not. No, I'll maneuver. You've gotten both your schemes off. And I'll maneuver again. Do I keep making you big? We'll go there.
Alright. I'll maneuver.
I can end here.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's fine.
Thank you.
And I will boost the network of spies.
Sounds good.
And George will attack with a ruse.
I will random discard.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah, I mean, good one, but we get rid of this. And I'll take it.
Alright. 4, and I get back.
Good interaction for you.
Your turn.
Yeah. I will attack. If I could do it with a ruse, I would, but I cannot.
No ruse.
It's kind of.
We'll take this.
Okay.
Ooh, ambush. Okay. Ooh,
Okay, we like that.
that
That is a
not good.
great thing to see. Oh, and I thought I was so dead.
Oh, man.
Oh. I will draw with my ability. I will proceed to attack you again.
Mm-hmm.
I will heal 1.
Yep.
I will draw with my ability. I'll attack you again.
Man, this isn't good.
I will draw with my ability. I will attack you again. Man, you got all blocks.
Nope.
Okay, but that's a 1, so we like that. Hmm.
Technically, I had all blocks. Aside
What
from the
do
H7
we
one.
boost with? Okay, things have really turned.
Yeah, not so great
Um,
for me now.
Yeah, that's for sure. I will boost with a 0.
Yeah.
So you pick 6.
Alright.
No need for me to draw. Your turn.
Well, I maneuver.
Yeah, I thought you might.
Mm-hmm.
But look on the bright side, you have so many ruses.
I'll maneuver again.
Mm-hmm.
Your turn.
I'll travel in. And attack George.
See, it's not good. It's not good at all.
Can't random discard to stop this.
But we will defend it. Is it a 0? It's not.
Okay. So I heal 1. I'll draw with ability. And I'll attack George again.
And there it is, baby.
Dang.
Oh, we are so back.
Alright. Chupa's a
Chupa
problem
OP.
for George. I mean, yeah, the one turn going in there where you had all the where you could just counter pressure me was,
Oh, that was so stressful.
ooh.
I had no blocks. I didn't have a single block.
Yeah, I knew you didn't have blocks, and I was just hoping to put pressure on you that way, but yeah, Chupa just eats you alive sometimes. And I had a couple. I really debated putting the spy here, and I really should have to swap with the spy. I just wanted to put the spy here for coverage, and I was thinking that
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. I should have put the spy here. That's what I should have done.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's
But it
always a
happened.
million things you're thinking about for future eventualities, and it's always
Yep.
easy to say it was the wrong call in hindsight, but it's tough to know. Yeah, that was crazy. I really thought I was in a rough spot when I was just struggling for blocks. Like all I had was a
Yep.
wounded beast for a while, and then like I double maneuver. Right, you saw my hand, and I double maneuvered, and I drew a travelers and a feeding, I think, or an ambush, maybe an ambush and a traveler, something like that. And I was like, oh man, well I'll make him boost. But that's the thing about Chupa, like he can make hand advantage disappear like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, and the big problem for me in this one was I had to keep boosting right to get to you, but I had a really, really good hand, and so
I could
everything I was
tell
getting
because you
rid
were
of was bad.
discarding like Faint in the 4, and I was like, he's
Yup.
got a good hand. I'm going to keep making him
You
boost
hit me
or double
unsettled.
maneuver and double discard.
Yeah, it was bad. I really wanted some crap cards to get rid of, and I didn't have any of them. I
Right.
was hoping to find this as well, so when I did go in, I could. Of course, I boosted one of them away, which in hindsight I think was a mistake. I was thinking that, you know, it wouldn't be that bad because I didn't see it be too impactful in our match previously because, well, you didn't get any healing from it because you always random discard. And so it's just kind of a one that's not really baiting attack into Chupa isn't that great. But
Right.
yeah, I was thinking that just boosting it away was going to be better, but in hindsight, maybe having it would have been nice because, if I get you down to low enough hand count, maybe you don't random discard, or maybe you're worried about not having any blocks. If you had like one block in hand, for instance. But
Right.
yeah, I think as George, main thing I should have done differently was to put the spy here so I could go play this. Although if you had an offensive feint, that also would have prevented it. But I guess you didn't have it, so I would have been able to swap away.
Right.
But then, of course, if you have travelers, you just travel in and keep attacking me, so it might not have saved me.
Yeah. I mean, this was an interesting map for the matchup because it is so initiative based. Like on other maps, it's not such a big deal, but like getting hit with 5 value feedings and 5 value blood in the airs is so scary.
Yep.
And getting hit with 4 value sabotages and 5 value agents is also so scary. So it makes it a much more cat and mouse game, which is often how it goes on Hanging Gardens. Overall, I do still think it's pretty even. George has a lot of tools at his disposal, but I think I would give the slight edge to Chupa overall. I don't think position changes it much. I think bigger maps are better for Chupa because you can bleed George of value even more.
Yep.
And I think smaller maps and maps without quite such a high ground element. I don't know if the high ground. I think the high ground is pretty even overall. It just makes it a little weird.
No, I would agree. I think the high ground is evenly matched in this one just because both characters really love that +1. If anything, slightly favoring Chupa because Chupa wants to interact more, and therefore, if the combats are going better for the attacker, Chupa's going to be the attacker more often, therefore, it's going to get more benefit from it. But the other big thing I want to make a difference of in this game versus last game, why I think this game was a little less close, just a little bit, was mainly because I played the Gather Information turn 1. And I wanted to go for that because, I had it in the starting hand. We had talked about it a little bit. If you want to play that turn 1
Right.
to go in there and you draw a bunch of cards. And I played it because, I had it and I wanted to see what happened. And I thought if I could put enough pressure on Chupa early and if you didn't have defense, which you actually didn't,
Right.
that it would be really, really scary for you to, really quickly to have to worry about 7-1-1s and stuff like that, having to always random discard when I attacked you. But I just really couldn't find good excuses to attack you. I had to keep boosting in. You killed my spies. I had a hand with,
Right.
some sympathetic saints in it and everything, and a lot of my defenses, so make a stand and misinformations. And so very difficult for me to find ways. And I had 7-1-1s, which I didn't want to waste so early.
Yep.
So very tough there. I think Jeff definitely does not want to play Gather Information that early, just because then you pivot to just running away, and it's really tough for George to force you to come to him, like you said, on a very
Agreed.
initiative-based map. There was no
Yes.
incentive for you to come in. You were up 4 cards in deck at one point. It was disgusting. So
Correct. Yep. Well, another Stars and Stripes fighter that we wanted to prove is better than the current consensus. Pulse O2. I mean, John definitely has a different overall consensus in the community. We'll see how he fares in the last of the Stars and Stripes for matchup of the month. But either way, I think a really cool matchup and interesting. And I do think the mind games on both sides make this so fun. You have a lot of toss ups and you have to really be calling things right. Like so much of this comes down to the knowing what you think the opponent's going to throw and getting in their heads. And I do think that's, one of the great parts of Unmatched. And this is definitely a great exemplification of like the mind games in combat, which is very fun.
no, 100%. 100% echo that. And yeah, hopefully we will see some more Stars and Stripes wins. I think only Wyatt Earp has a win, and it's a win at that so far here in matches from A to Z. So we'll see if John can turn the tide a little bit, and hopefully I can turn the tide a little bit here in our race here. I think now, what is the score? 4-2 for Team
I
ARoy.
believe so. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but don't worry, guys. Team ZX49 coming at you soon. We're gonna even up the score next week, and it'll be or next month, I should say. And it'll be
Works
great.
for me. Well, we'll see. We'll see about that. Maybe I'll extend my lead, but we'll have to see what's in store for us in August. But until then, have a great summer of Legends, everyone, and we'll be back soon.
Yes, and make sure to check out the channel. We'll definitely be doing some Summer Legend streams. So if you want to see some of the top players in on the action, make sure to tune in. But that's all I got for you today. Anything else for you, ARoy, you wanted to say?
Thanks for playing.
Yeah, thank you for playing, man. Very, very fun, and I will see you all in the next one. Take it easy.
Absolutely.